Let's start with a question. Who's the most successful, as in richest, criminal of all time? You could have a think, but here's some clues. His business was based in the jungles of Colombia. He was listed by Forbes magazine as one of the world's wealthiest billionaires for 7 years in a row. He built entire housing estates for the poor, funded over 70 community sports facilities, and even built a zoo. The name you're looking for is Pablo Escobar, and despite his community ventures, he was no angel. Pablo Escobar was a Colombian drug lord. One of the keys to his massive wealth was the successful creation of the Medellin Cartel, which allowed him to almost completely monopolise the flow of cocaine into the United States. You may be wondering what this has to do with higher business. Well, there are two key words here that we should explore: monopoly and cartel. This is Thinkful. Monopoly and cartel relate to political factors impacting on businesses, which you may recognise from the acronym PESTEC. In 2014, the UK government launched the Competition and Markets Authority, known as the CMA, to enforce policy to promote healthy competition between rival businesses. This would benefit consumers by ensuring that firms compete with each other on pricing, therefore encouraging people to spend. The more goods and services purchased, the stronger the economy, hence the government interest. The existence of a monopoly or cartel would be considered anti-competitive, as it may mean that one business or a group operating together as a cartel may become too dominant and exert too much control over a particular market. This is where Pablo worked his highly profitable magic. In the Medellin area of Colombia, he managed to unite rival drug gang leaders to work under his leadership to control the flow of drugs into America. In business terms, this is the equivalent of one company collaborating with its rivals to allow the newly formed cartel to control the supply of certain goods. If they can do this, they can also then engage in price fixing, which means charging consumers more and thereby generating a greater profit. This may be good news for the business, but is most definitely bad news for everyday consumers. Pablo's Medellin cartel did this so successfully that they created a monopoly. This means that his organisation completely dominated that particular market, and that no other rival business could survive. Quite literally the case in 1980s Colombia. In the higher exam, you're most likely to be asked about impacts of competition policy on business. Participation in a cartel of any sort, particularly drugs, is made very illegal under this legislation. Similarly, a potential merger with another business may mean that the newly merged mega business is so dominant that it may be deemed a monopoly. The government has the power to block mergers like these. In cases like this, a newly formed mega business could be in a position to completely eradicate any remaining rivals by dropping prices so low that they corner the market completely. The government also has the power to block this activity as anti-competitive. Competition policy isn't designed to prevent businesses from being highly profitable. The government wants that to happen so that jobs are created and taxes are paid. It's designed to maintain competitive markets that consumers can benefit from, which in turn leads to a strong national economy. While Mr. Escobar certainly made his mark on the world by adopting some aggressive business tactics, it didn't go very well for him in the end. He may have understood the power of monopoly and cartels, but he was otherwise not a great role model for business. You can do better. This was Think4. Thanks for watching.